All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to episode 3 of Freestylin on Real American Freestyle. I am Vinny, and as always, I am here by myself for Real American Freestyle until I find a co-host. But either way, we are here. I guess there was a little bit of confusion about what time the show was starting. I see Derek Farron in the chat. Looks like he put up a chat or comment last night. Um, I did start and maybe from across the pond, possibly. But either way, I'm here talking all about Real American Freestyle number 3. The event took place last night. I did do a watch along today on our Discord, on the Gimmick Table Media Discord app or Discord channel. And I did that at 4 p.m. Eastern today, and then going live tonight, talking all about Real American Freestyle, the real professional wrestling league that's out there, the newest, I should say, created by Eric Bischoff, Chad Bronstein, and Izzy Martinez, along with the immortal Hulk Hogan himself, starting it. So as the premise goes, I just started getting into freestyle wrestling with the advent of Real American Freestyle. I had never been a freestyle wrestling fan because I was always a WWE fan or WCW or NWA or, professional, wrestling, sports entertainment fan. However, this was my chance to really look at the real athleticism and the real athletes that are going in with real professional wrestling. My name is Vinny, as always, and we are brought to you by W Energy, and W Energy powers our energy, I guess that's what you would call it, and the flavors are fantastic. Well, watermelon is my favorite for the hydration blend. I do like the creamsicle, which is mango, orange, and cream flavored energy drink. You could get 10% off your purchase by going to w.gg and use promo code SUDSmedia for 10% off your purchase. Again, that's w.gg, promo code SUDSmedia for 10% off your purchase. All right. So they were at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois, I guess during a winter storm. I actually verified this with my co-host for Dockside at the Bay, Kim, who lives in Chicago. She's actually in Buffalo right now with her family for Thanksgiving. I hope everybody here that are watching had a great Thanksgiving. But she was in Buffalo, so she wasn't privy to the nor'easter or winter storm that was taking place in Chicago. However, her flight back to Chicago was canceled, and now that winter storm or winter weather is actually heading towards Buffalo, so her flight may be a little delayed getting back to Chicago. But I did verify that it was hell out in Chicago, and but either way, people made it out. 6,000 people in the Wintrust Arena for Real American Freestyle, and I'm happy. I'm happy for it because the one thing that freestyle wrestling never had was a platform. Yes, they have the Olympics. Yes, they have, the different types of events, tournaments that are on ESPN or whatever, but there's no glitz or glamour to it. What Real American Freestyle is doing is they're going ahead and giving that glitz and glamour, the character, to freestyle wrestling, to real professional wrestling. And I'm not going to say that I know all the ins and outs about it. I'm not going to say that I know all the ins and outs about the contractual status. I will say that a lot of the matches that are coming up are barn burners. I'll go over, obviously, what happened at last night's show. And I will say I'm enjoying every minute of Real American Freestyle. I truly believe that this is a fantastic thing for the wrestling industry, and it's getting more eyes on the product. There's a whole host of people who are wrestling fans, and I'm not talking about WWE. I'm talking about freestyle wrestling fans. I never gave it a shot because I was always a WWE fan, and I never got into it as a kid growing up or whatever. But now that Real American Freestyle is here, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the presentation. I'm enjoying the production value. I'm enjoying the ideas of the guys coming out with a sports entertainment flair. The character work that they're starting to do, the promos that they're starting to do, and even some backstage segments like we saw last night on Real American Freestyle. So honestly, I'm not sure where it's going, but I'm enjoying where it's going. And with Eric Bischoff behind it and his brain for media, for social media, for merchandising, for marketing, I should say, he's going to help bring this sport up. And this obviously is not the only freestyle wrestling league out there. There's a lot of other ones, but this one is the one that's more mainstream, especially when it's on Fox Nation. Okay, so Mike from one of our buddies from Gimmick Table Media points out in the chat saying it's nice to have a place for amateur wrestling. I did it in high school, and if you don't do college, there really isn't anything to continue. And honestly, that's pretty much true. We talk about, sports in general or acting or whatever. The amount of people that are picked to go to the NFL, go to the NBA, go to Hollywood are slim and few and far between. So if you're not going through high school, if you're not going to wrestle in college, after that, you've got the Olympics, but very, very small, like Kurt Angle went to the Olympics. And we know that for a fact. And then you have the NCAAs and stuff in college. But if you don't go for that, then there's nothing. There's no professional outlet. But now, with the Real American Freestyle, there actually is a good professional outlet. Let's see, let's get behind it and root it on. All right. So let's kind of go over the card right now and go through the results. I watched it from start to finish this afternoon, and I got to tell you, it was a fantastic event. And one thing that I will say is one of the reasons why I didn't get into it while I was younger is because there's no ropes, there's no high flying, there's no, there's very few and far between that you get the excitement of a lot of grappling. This event had it. There were also some slow times. And I'm still learning the point system compared to pins and everything. So bear with me as I go through this. And I did take notes. So, all right. So we started off with the first match in the featherweight division. Darren the Wolf Caldwell, who is 0-1 in Real American Freestyle. He is a two-time NCAA All-American, a Bellator MMA champion. He took on 19-year-old Bo Bassett, whose nickname is Machine Gun. And he had when he signed with the Real American Freestyle, and Eric Bischoff was public about this on his podcast, 83 Weeks, they had to have his parents sign because when he signed, he was 18, and the parents had to sign for him to go to Real American Freestyle. He just turned 19 years old. Bo Bassett, won the match against Darren Caldwell. Darren Caldwell by pinfall in less than 1 minute. I was shocked when I saw it. The takedown was there, and of course it's not a 1, 2, 3 like we see in sports entertainment. It's literally 1 second where the back has to be on the mat and the shoulders have to be down. And Bo Bassett won the match by pinfall in less than 1 minute. It was amazing to see firsthand as I did. I was shocked, but great job for Bo Bassett to win by pinfall over somebody who's multiple years older than him, and somebody apparently who Bo Bassett looked up to in Darren Caldwell. All right, moving on to the second match was the women's middleweight division, not championship, but in the women's middleweight division. Bella Mir, who's 4-0 in her pro MMA career and jiu-jitsu world champion, her debut, she's the daughter of UFC legend Frank Mir. She took on Alexis Gomez, who's making her RAF Freestyle. Her brother, Austin Gomez, was on Real American Freestyle 1, and now he also later on in this card as well. But this match was fantastic. It started out where Bellamere was dominating. After the first round, it was 1-0 in favor of Mir. After round 2, it was 3-0 in favor of Mir. Alexis Gomez comes all the way back with 7 unanswered points to win the match 7-3. And I'm telling you, she turned it on. And the Chad Sonnen, who's a color commentator, along with, I can't remember the names of the commentators. I'm so sorry. I'll have to look it up. Juliana Pena was one of them. She pointed out that this is what Gomez does. She gets her opponents into a false sense of security and then turns on the heat. And that's what she did, because in round 3, she got 7 points to win 7-3. And that was amazing to watch as well. So I'm looking right now at who the, there we go, commentators. Oh, yeah, the commentators were Cyrus Fees, who's the play-by-play. Chad Sonnen was color. Juliana Pena, and then Kurt Angle joined them for the co-main event and the main event for the event. All right. And Bo Bassett, just to kind of point out, he's still in high school, so he's the first active high schooler to compete at a Real American Freestyle event. Fantastic. Either way. All right. Like we said in the middleweight match, Alexis Gomez defeated Bellamere, and what a match! Just to see how some of the strategies are. Instead of coming right out with fire from the very beginning, Gomez waited. She went down 1 point and then went down 3, and then she turned it up in the third round to win. I was shocked. I never knew about the psychology or that kind of strategy, or the different strategies, I should say, of freestyle wrestling until watching a lot of these matches and learning about these different I'm about ready to say superstars, but a lot of these athletes. All right. Light heavyweight championship, light heavyweight match, not championship, but light heavyweight match. Pat Downey, who's 0-1 in Real American Freestyle, NCAA All-American, he took on Joaquin Buckley, who's in his debut in Real American Freestyle. And Downey came out of the gate with fire. He won 12-0 in round 1 via tech fall, because if you get over 10 points, or is it 10 points or is it over 10 above your opponent? I think it's 10 points. But either way, he scored 12 in round 1, and in less than 2 minutes, Pat Downey won the match over Joaquin Buckley. Fantastic match, and it's good. Again, like I said, I'm still learning, folks. I'm still learning about how the Real American or freestyle wrestling in general goes, and then the scoring and how it is, because okay, so thank you. Not a Wrestler XSG on YouTube came up and said it's a 10-point lead. Okay, so once it's a 10-point lead, that's where you get the tech fall. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Just like in folk style, a tech is a 15-point lead. Okay, very cool. Thank you so much. I did not know that, but it's good to learn all this stuff as I'm going. So you guys are helping me. I'm helping you, or I'm kind of, I don't know if I'd help you out, but I'm learning. You're helping me either way as I go along. So Pat Downey won 12-0 in round 1. What a match. He just came out of the gate on fire. Let's see. In the next match, it was in the welterweight division. Clay Guida, who is making his RAF debut, is taking on Caden Henschel, who is 1-0 in Real American Freestyle. Clay Guida is a 2019 UFC Hall of Famer, so he's been in the MMA scene for quite a while, but all of these guys, most of their roots are in freestyle wrestling. And this match itself was great. Henschel dominated from the very beginning. Round one, he had a 1-0 lead at the end of round one. At the end of round two, he was up 5-0, and then he went on a tear in round three. Ended up going up 11-0 in the third to win by tech fall. So, great match for Henschel, and he's probably somebody I could try to get on the show at some point. Maybe get an interview with Caden Henschel. He's big into social media. He's big into YouTube. So, we'll check it out. I'm going to work on it. I want to try to get some of these stars, some of these athletes, some even maybe Eric Bischoff himself was supposed to get on the debut episode. Didn't work out, but I'm still working on it. I want to try to get some of these guys on here, guys or girls, I should say, on here to talk about their experience with the Real American Freestyle and kind of find out, because obviously it's shaped like MMA or boxing, where you're not going to wrestle on every event. It's not like WWE where you're wrestling every week or every twice a week or 3 times a week. You're actually training and going through training camps in order to get your body into the mode to go through this, because it's grueling. I'm just by watching it, I'm learning that. All right. We get to our first championship match. The featherweight championship was on the line as Jordan Oliver, making his Real American Freestyle debut, 4-time NCAA All-American, taking on the current champion, Real Woods, 1-0. He won the championship at Real American Freestyle 01. And amazingly, they don't come out wearing their belts. That was something that I was curious about. I didn't understand why the champions didn't come out with their belts. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll get to that, or they're just not used to it. I don't know. Again, it's not WWE, but that's what I'm used to. So after round one, Woods had a 1-0 lead. After round two, Woods had a 2-0 lead. In the third round, this is where it changed everything. At a last, the way that the rules work is that a tie goes to the person who scored last. So in this case, Woods, led the entire way up until round three, where Jordan Oliver got 2 points in the third round and ended up winning the championship at a 2-2 tie. But because he was the last person to score, he's your new champion. So the new Real American Freestyle featherweight champion is Jordan Oliver, and he'll be back to obviously defend his title. But amazingly, that's all it takes. So congratulations to Jordan Oliver to become the new Real American Freestyle featherweight champion. All right. The next match was dubbed, at least by Chael Sonnen, was dubbed a lightweight eliminator match, which I'm not sure why it was called that, outside of the fact that both of the guys had the first name Austin. So we had Austin Gomez, 2-time All-American, 2024 U.S. Olympian, who's 1-0 in Real American Freestyle, taking on Austin O'Connor, making his Real American Freestyle debut. He's a 5-time All-American, 2-time NCAA champion. I'm assuming you get 5-time when it comes to like the COVID year, where a lot of guys had an extra year of eligibility because of COVID. But either way, he's 5-time All-American. He's a 2-time NCAA champion. And these guys, I guess, have been going back and forth wrestling each other from the age of 9. So this is over a decade later that they've been wrestling each other. And it showed, because they had such tremendous chemistry in there where each one of them knew where things were going. However, Austin Gomez dominated the match. Well, after round one. Round one ended in a 1-1 tie. In round two, Gomez went out to a 6-1 lead, and then Gomez ended up winning in the third after the third round in a 9-1 match, 9-1 score. So congratulations to Austin Gomez going to 2-0 in RAF standings. Congratulations to him for going on. And actually, his sister fought earlier in the match, in the event, Alexis Gomez, who beat Bellemere. So they came out, they celebrated together, and apparently it's happened before, and numerous times when they're wrestling on the same card, they end up having this sibling energy that helps them both perform better, I guess. But either way, I don't know how scientific that is or just the mindset going into it. Great job nonetheless. Congratulations to Austin Gomez for another win in Real American Freestyle. All right, now we're going to go to the bantamweight division match. Andriy Yatsenko, who's making his RAF debut, multiple-time Ukrainian national champion, taking on Spencer Lee, 3-time NCAA national champion, hasn't had a win since 2021. This match is one of those matches that went back and forth, and was literally the fastest-paced match of the night. And in my opinion, the match of the night. The best match of the event was this match. After round one, Spencer Lee had a 7-2 lead. And after round two, Spencer Lee had 7-4 lead. So Spencer Lee went up early and then kind of fizzled out. Yatsenko got 2 points in round two, and then round three was balls to the wall for both guys. Yatsenko ends up winning by pinfall. At the time, Lee was up 9-4. However, a pinfall trumps that. So Yatsenko wins by pinfall, even though he was down in points. Great match, best match so far. It really looked like a couple of times somebody got hit, came down hard on his head. But it was an amazing match so far in that event. Best match of the night. Kudos to both guys, and congratulations to Andriy Yatsenko for winning the pinfall, getting the pinfall victory. All right. Heavyweight division match, and these guys obviously have the unlimited weight. Ahmed Tazhudinov from Russia, Olympic gold medalist in 2024. Obviously, I think his nickname is Taz. Took on Anthony Cassiope. They're both guys are making their Real American Freestyle debut. Cassiope is a 4-time NCAA All-American. And this match was a little bit slow, which you would think two big guys going at it. They were both blocking a lot. There were a few takedowns as round one, Tazhudinov was up 6-4. And then Tazhudinov won in round two by pinfall. So 2 pinfall victories in a row. I was impressed with these two. Being in the heavyweight division, I see Tazhudinov challenging Wyatt Hendrickson at some point. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and turn on the notifications bell. And remember, we do have the super chats down there. So if you see the box with the $sign, and you want to support the channel, support the network, go ahead and give us a super chat or a super thanks as well. And if you're watching on Facebook, the like, the share, everything, it really helps us. It really helps us out. And if you're on X as well, hit the like button and share it. Share it and share alike. All right. Tazunov wins by pinfall. And again, I could see these, when Big E, who, for you, those of you who are WWE fans, uses his saying, they're big, meaty men slapping meat. Well, when Wyatt Hendrickson, who is the current Real American Freestyle heavyweight champion, and Tazunov go face-to-face, it's going to be great. However, Wyatt Hendrickson is defending his heavyweight championship against Mason Paris, I think that's his name, at Real American Freestyle 04 on December 20th from just outside Indianapolis, Fishers, Indiana. So he's got to get through that match first. But I could honestly see that match being a slobber knocker, in the words of Jim Ross. All right, going next to the middleweight women's championship. This was the co-main event. This is when Kurt Angle came out and took over the reins of color commentator. We had a match that was supposed to take place at RAF 01. If you remember, it was promoted that it was going to be Alejandra Rivera against Kennedy Blades for the middleweight women's championship, middleweight world championship. However, I guess there was an NCAA rule or ruling that prevented Kennedy Blades from participating at RAF 01. It had to do with eligibility. I don't know all the rules regarding that. And I know some people have said stuff about it. I'm still very unclear. But either way, that's when Alejandra Rivera took on Holly Holm. Remember, Holly Holm was the mystery opponent, the surprise opponent that Eric Bischoff introduced at RAF 01. Rivera ended up winning 1-0 in that match. This match was supposed to take place back then. However, now Alejandra Rivera was defending her middleweight world championship against Kennedy Blades. And just Kennedy Blades, just some information about her: 2024 Olympic silver medalist. She's got star potential. Like, if you're likening this to sports entertainment, she's getting the rub. She's getting the push. She's got the best video package. She's got the entrance music, the lighting, no pyro. But, she's got the look. She's got the push. Like, it was a focal point on her, and how fitting, she's from Chicago. So she was wrestling in front of her hometown crowd. And she just took over from the very beginning. At the end of round 1, Blades was up 9-0. And the end of round 2, Kennedy Blades won. It didn't even make it to the end, but she won by tech fall 11-0, and becomes your new middleweight women's champion. So we've had 2 titles change hands on this card. Nobody kept their title. Because we had Kennedy Blades win this match, and we had Jordan Oliver win the men's featherweight championship. So neither one of those titles stayed. So it's fun watching it. Like, Kennedy Blades is a star, and now I know why Eric Bischoff didn't stop talking about her when it was leading up to her debut originally at RAF 01, but even more so now. So congratulations to Kennedy Blades. All right, now we are at our main event of the evening. Before we get to our main event, I do want to again say thank you, folks, for watching. Currently have 11 people watching. Hey, you know what? It is what it is, and I want to thank you all for watching, because you guys are obviously, freestyle wrestling fans. If you're not subscribed to our network, go to suds-media.com, which brings you to our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and help us out. If you want to donate, we have the super chat, the super thanks, the super stickers function. We've also got a lot of our merch on our YouTube channel and on our YouTube page. So go check that out as well. You can go to merch.suds-media.com. We do have we're no longer through Threadless. We're now going through Spreadshop. There's a lot more items there, a lot more options to choose from. And remember, if you order a doggy bandana or one of the doggy cuddle buddies, no matter which logo, all those proceeds go to support the charity Samantha's Friends. And if you want to know more about Samantha's Friends, go to samanthasfriends.org. And they're a charity that works with rehoming and training service animals for first responders and veterans. They're located in Sarasota, Florida. Again, samanthasfriends.org for more information. But all purchases, all proceeds from the sales of doggy bandanas or doggy cuddle buddies, all those proceeds go directly to Samantha's Friends to support it as well. All right, moving on to our main event in the welterweight division. Two guys who are MMA fighters. Chad Mendes, also, both the guys are also making their Real American Freestyle debut. And Chad Mendes, two-time All-American, current bare-knuckle fighting superstar. And he took on Michael Chandler, three-time Bellator lightweight champion, current UFC superstar, or maybe I have it backwards. No, Michael Chandler is a current UFC superstar, and Chad Mendes is currently a bare-knuckle fighter. They're both under contract to other organizations, which means they need to get permission to be here, of course. After round one, Chandler was up 3-0. In round two, Mendes got one back. Chandler was up 3-1. And then in round two, they each got a point. And at the very last second, Chandler ended up winning that fourth point. But either way, it came right down to the end. And what a match, because it was a fantastic match either way. And the entire card, I will say this, the entire card top to bottom was great. I'm enjoying my foray into freestyle wrestling. I like it, and I'm enjoying it. And to be honest with you, and I'm going to say this, and if Michael from Kicking Out of Two is still watching, I'm going to have to whisper it, but I'm actually liking this more than the offerings of WWE right now. And I never thought that would happen, but kudos to Eric Bischoff and the team over at Real American Freestyle, because it has been a great 3 events so far. We're looking at RAF 04 coming up on December 20th in Fishers, Indiana, right outside of Indianapolis. Tickets are available, but either way, I'm enjoying this here. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining us again. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go to suds-media.com. Turn on, hit this like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on those notification bells, because either way, it's going to be a fantastic night coming up on December 20th. And anything you want, whether you're a soap opera fan or a wrestling fan or freestyle wrestling fan, we have a lot coming up in January. We're going to be debuting a few new shows here on Suds and Squared Circle Media. There's going to be a lot in terms of hybrid shows. Just wait for that to be announced. But we're going to be venturing outside of soaps and wrestling going forward. So stay tuned. Again, you could find me on Facebook and Twitter at Vinny Suds. Those are my personal pages. If you want, at Suds Media is our network page on Twitter, which is what I normally do. But Suds and Squared Circle Media is also on Facebook. And then on Instagram and Threads is at Suds and Squared Circle. And then on TikTok at Suds_media. And on Blue Sky, suds-media.com on Blue Sky as well. I don't usually use that too much, but I am there. Either way, folks, you could go to suds-media.com to follow us and get all the information you need. There's our YouTube channel. Linktree.suds-media.com. Wrestlingmerch.suds-media.com, because we are a WWE affiliate. So use that code. And folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Vinny. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Suds News. Angela will be joining me, and we'll talk about the short week that was in Port Charles for General Hospital. So, folks, we will see you. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for Suds News.